Reality stars Todd and Julie Chrisley now free after an official pardon from President Donald Trump.
Yes, I will hold your baby dog.
Their daughter Savannah elated, addressing the media outside the Florida prison where her dad had been serving time.
My parents have not spoken to each other, heard each other's voices, or seen each other in the past 2.5 years. It has been extremely difficult. Their 29th wedding anniversary was on May 25th. When they reunite, we're going to celebrate anniversaries, birthdays, Christmases, all the things, because we're going to make up for the lost time.
The Chrisley Knows Best duo granted a full pardon by President Trump for their 2022 conviction on tax evasion and fraud charges. They served nearly 2.5 years behind bars. Todd had been sentenced to 12 years, Julie 7. The president called the Chrisley children to break the news.
Congratulate your parents, and I hear they're terrific people. This should not have happened.
Savannah reacting on Instagram late last night.
Both my parents are coming home tonight or tomorrow, and I still don't believe it's real. I'm freaking out.
I spoke with the 27-year-old as she boarded a plane to pick up her dad.
Have you talked to your parents?
Yes.
And what was their reaction?
Oh, they're in tears.
That's incredible.
They're just ecstatic.
I got here at, I think it was 2 a.m. last night, and I have not gone to sleep. I did not bring any clothes with me. I did not bring a toothbrush with me. I brought absolutely nothing with me because I'm just a daughter who wants to take my dad home with me.
Hours later, she posted a video to her Instagram stories. Her dad heard laughing in the background.
You just sprayed perfume everywhere.
I didn't have to deal with this in prison.
For them to now be leaving prison, being in the comfort of their own home, I can only imagine it's still such a whirlwind for their brains.
The president asserted that there was bias in the case, that they were persecuted for their conservative beliefs, although there is absolutely no evidence to that end.
It was a stunning fall for the couple who displayed their lavish lives while espousing Christian values for nearly a decade on their hugely popular shows. Chrisley Knows Best.
I've made 95% of all the money that we've ever made in real estate.
And its spin-off, Growing Up Chrisley.
This right here absolutely freaks me out.
Devoted viewers following the tight-knit families, it eventually became one of the USA Network's most successful shows.
Can I pull you down here?
They were just this loving couple, had this large family. They had wealth that was due to real estate, and they loved their clothes. Like, if you ever watched the show, Todd was all about dressing well and presenting yourself well. That was very much their thing. They were kind of like the Kardashians of the South, you know?
The quirky Southern family includes Todd and his 5 children, Linsey and Kyle from his first marriage, and Chase, Savannah, and Grayson with mom Julie. The couple also helping raise Kyle's daughter, Chloe.
Divorce!
Family drama, the lifeblood of the show, including Todd's fights with his kids.
Nothing about life is fair.
Money and how to spend it, often a hot topic on the show.
Exactly. We've got to run, like fast run, like short of escrow run.
Todd originally made his fortune in real estate, but federal prosecutors say the family spent more than they made. The Department of Justice at the time said the Chrisleys then began falsifying documents, securing over $30 million in loans from community banks in Georgia between 2007 and 2012. Prosecutors stating they lie through their teeth to get whatever they want when they want it. And as the reality stars were starting to shine, prosecutors say the Chrisleys failed to file or pay taxes from 2013 to 2016.
It took not just that family, but fans for a loop. The world, if you didn't watch the Chrisleys then, you probably started, because you're like, wait a second, what? Weren't they just this like little wholesome, wealthy Southern family doing their little thing? And that happened. And so it really just changed the trajectory of their path.
The Chrisleys saying they were political targets for their conservative beliefs. Through it all, Savannah has been front and center.
Just fighting for my parents is what this is all about. My name is Savannah Chrisley.
Savannah even making an appearance at the 2024 Republican National Convention, hitting back at the prosecutor who handled her parents' case.
He called us the Trumps of the South. Yeah, hey, it's fun. He meant it as an insult, but let me tell you, boy, do I wear it as a badge of honor.
Nightline has chronicled her fight to free her parents. I spoke to her in the midst of her parents' incarceration.
What do you say to folks who might think they deserve to serve time,
Yeah.
hard time?
We're not tough on tough crime. We're tough on white-collar crime. Money means more than a human life at the place we're at right now. If you say someone stole $17 million, what is imprisoning them for $60,000 a year going to do? It's costing taxpayers even more money to imprison them, and you're not getting any of the money back. I think for me, when people say they were convicted, I say, if you want to convict them, but convict them on the truth. There was not sufficient evidence.
So you're convinced they're not guilty?
100%.
She did her best to hold her family together, taking her siblings to visit their parents in prison.
We just switch off between mom and dad.
And so what are those visits like?
We go, we sit, we laugh, we walk, we walk around, and we just try to have a little bit of normalcy.
Savannah was appointed the legal guardian of her teenage brother Grayson and niece Chloe, who her parents were raising.
What's life been like carrying on without them? I mean,
Yeah.
you've had to have holidays without them.
That was the hardest part, was at Christmas of, asking the kids like any other parent does, like, what do you want for Christmas? And they look at you and say, I don't want anything. Like, I can't have what I want. And you're like, got it.
You can't fill a hole in their heart.
Yeah, you can't.
Todd and Julie had not been able to speak to each other. There wasn't an easy way for them to communicate with one another within the prison system, but Savannah made it a point to communicate with both of them daily as much as possible.
On her podcast, Savannah playing a phone call from her mother.
Be charged for this call. This call is from Julie. Hey, honey.
Hey, you okay?
Yeah, what you doing?
In March, I spoke with Savannah and her lawyer, who helped the family appeal to the president for a pardon.
Alex, what do you make of those folks who think that appealing for presidential pardons in a way is short-circuiting the criminal justice system?
No, I mean, I think that the reality is the Constitution gave the president the power of the pardon. The president can choose to use that how he sees fit.
The Chrisleys, who were ordered to pay over $17 million in restitution, now no longer will have to. Trump isn't the first to spark controversy with pardons.
Really, there is no precedent for this. There have been controversial pardons that have been granted in the past. We saw President Biden give a pardon to family members at the end of his term, fearing that they would be targets by the Trump administration. At the end of his term in office, Bill Clinton granted a pardon to Mark Rich, who had been a contributor. That was very controversial as well. But we haven't seen the sheer number of pardons, nor have we seen them in the middle of an administration.
President Trump has pardoned more than 1,500 people in his second term.
The Chrisleys is just one of a series of very high-profile pardons that Donald Trump has issued recently, including Michael Grimm, who was a Staten Island-based representative who had pleaded guilty to falsely providing information for a tax return. Paul Walzak, a Florida-based healthcare executive, was convicted on tax fraud amounting to $4.4 million. He was pardoned by President Trump, and not to mention the pardons that he issued right after he was inaugurated around the January 6th conviction. I think the one thing that these have in common is that these people all supported President Trump in some way.
Now, as Todd and Julie Chrisley look towards freedom, their children eagerly anticipating their homecoming. Their son Chase Chrisley posting a photo of him and his younger brother Grayson on Instagram saying, "Thank you, Mr. President." Savannah saying reality TV will once again be in the family's future.
Yes, we have a new show coming out on Lifetime, and it will document all of these things. And we're excited. It's all God. We literally could not have done it. It's all God and President Trump at this point.